Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. My name is Dave Canyon. I am your host, your solo host for this and every episode for the fastest podcast on earth, traveling at speeds of anywhere between 65 and who knows how many miles per hour. Why put a cap on it? Could be 80, could be 85, could be 70. But I am in my Kia Rio, and I am recording on this Friday. I think it's May 6th. Let me see, 2, 3, 4, May 6th. I'm on my way to work. I'm actually right now going through the toll booth here in my hometown of Saugerties, and I'm getting ready to get on I-87, which is also called the New York State Thruway northbound. Hello, dum-dums. Thank you for tuning in. This possibly could be episode 11. You know, the danger of recording these podcasts, as I stated, well, you know what? No, let's make this episode 12, because I did record an episode 11, and it's in the can. I have not uploaded it yet because I've been a little bit too busy. It doesn't take more than a couple of button presses to upload it, but I just didn't. That's procrastination. I took care of some other matters. Maybe they were pressing, maybe they were not. So my apologies to whoever that is concerned, and my apologies to myself. I'm angry at myself, and I'm apologizing instantly because I should have uploaded episode 11. Okay, well then let's make this episode 12. Once again, why do we count podcasts? I don't know. At some point, I'm going to decide to continue to do it or stop doing it. But I think as a point of reference, like when you go to the app, I think it's important to see the numbers. Whatever. It's a reference. Because it's not live television. It's not even network television. It's not cable television. You got to have a number. So as I think about it, the more and more I do it, I guess it makes sense. It just seems silly to say it. But I know every podcast does it. And so I don't know if this is something I'm going to be different about. But I do name them as well. A lot of podcasts, the podcasters name their podcast. All right. So, am I holding the phone in a proper way so I don't disconnect? Yes, I think so. All right. So, guess what, folks? Today's episode is probably going to be called We Got Mail. We got mail. Yay! We got mail. All right. Not all of that, but just one We Got Mail. Got my first mail. So, here's how I'm going to do it, because I only have about 45 minutes. I guess I could drive a little bit slower. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who are adjudicating my case, if you are adjudicating, look at that word, if you are adjudicating my case because I have committed manslaughter in the first degree or whatever I've done while supposedly, allegedly recording a podcast while I'm driving, that's all bull. I'm not doing this while I'm driving. I just say that. I add the ambient sound of a Kia Rio going up the thruway. So it's not true. I am not in my Kia Rio for legal purposes. For those of you who are fans or listeners, I am absolutely in a Kia Rio. Don't pay attention to the other thing. It is authentic. And by the way, what difference does it make to the listener how I'm recording this? I mean, I know that you can hear the ambient sound of the wind and the tires and all that stuff. But anyway, so I just want to make that clear. If you're adjudicating the case, disregard. If you're a fan or a listener, enjoy. This podcast is being recorded in a 2008 Kia Rio with almost 206,000 miles on it. Can you believe it? Holy cow. All right. So here's the letter. I'm going to read it while I am recording. There we go. Dear Dave, just finished listening to episode number 8. Help, I'm exhausted and I can't shut up. Excellent job. I like how you were able to continuously get back on track after pursuing all those rabbit trails. By the way, this is a rather long letter, so sit back and relax, as they say. That's only the first 2 sentences. There's about 150 more to go. This guy writes a pretty long letter, and I'll explain a lot of details. I am not going to interrupt this letter. I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to reread it and interrupt if I have time. This might be a 2-part podcast. People that don't know you may not appreciate how hard that is for you, getting continuously back on track after pursuing all those rabbit trails. So people that don't know you may not appreciate how hard that is for you. But I know you, and I know it was quite a feat, especially on the way home from day 5 at the grind mill. I know you must have been exhausted, but you did well. The sound is good. A bit of road noise doesn't bother me. But I have a friend, he's talking about me, that would complain about it nonstop. Well, okay, maybe. He would probably insist that you get a new mic, but what does he know? It would be nice to see if you could shorten your explanation of working 16 hours. Of course, I have heard it way more than those tuning in to your podcast. So, it may be a little more repetitive for me than it would be for others. Now, exclamation point, about that title. I think it should have been called Help. I got my friends to listen and then bashed them for not being more like me. Sounds like you're attacking half, in capital letters, half of your listening audience. That's funny. Not a smart move, in my opinion. Let's dive into my thoughts as a listener. ... 5 dots. 3's enough. Okay. I am very happy for you to be pursuing your desires and looking for an outlet. I hope that you find your podcasts very therapeutic. Eventually, you will hopefully be able to get beyond all the hurt and pain you feel from your past. I sure hope so. I see that the show is called Dumbing It Down with Dave. Might I suggest a little bit more of the dumbing it in capitals and quotations down part, and a little bit less of the ramblings of a crazy, passive-aggressive, depressed, tired, unappreciated, overworked, truck driving, phone in my hand while driving, I wish more people loved me and treated me like I would treat me part? Because I think, and this is just my opinion, people would like to hear more about the it in the dumbing it down. Just as an FYI, as you well know, you are not the only truck driver in the world. I don't always work the hours you do, but to offset those hours you are working, I am sleeping. I don't always have the time to sit and respond like I am doing now. This is cutting into my shower time. I hope you can smell my stink from 2 hours of 2 hours of working out so that I can lose weight, in parenthesis, hopefully, just so I can send your presumably first email. I hope I got the address correct. By the way, tried to click like, and it wanted me to sign into one of those crazy things that you well know that I don't have. In capitals, all capitals. Look at me book. Quack like a bird, so everyone can hear every crazy thing that goes through my head twit thing. Google plus ... because they are not in enough of my life already yet. Anyway, pretend I clicked like because I did. Page 2. One more suggestion. Stop calling me a dum-dum. I get it. A follower of Dumbing It Down, a dum-dum. But it sounds kind of insulting. How about members of the Down Army? I don't know. Just brainstorming. I don't know if you realize this or not, but sometimes you ramblings are just that. He wanted to say your ramblings. You ramblings are just that. Ramblings. And when someone is just rambling, all you can do is let them go. How about something that elicits a response? Not necessarily a question, but a nice hard opinion about something. I'm Dave, and I think this. Just a thought. Just making a suggestion because I know you really want this podcast to be good and take off and have people tune in. Even though you say you don't care if people listen. Of course you care. Why else would you do it? You want to be acknowledged and appreciated. I know you do. But the people that never appreciated you ever will. But the people that never appreciated you probably ever will. It's probably never will. So forget them and do what you do. And now I have caught your spirit. I am now the one that is rambling on about apparently nothing. I don't know what else to say to you, buddy. I wish that your company didn't have that stupid cell phone rule, because then I could talk to you about your show and you would maybe be happier knowing that someone had an opinion. My opinion is that I am not way into podcasts, but I have listened to 2 of yours because you are my friend, and it is convenient to listen in while I am at the gym. The fastest podcast on the internet is Clever. I like it. Who are these people in Australia you are referring to? How do you know people the other side of the world? You keep mentioning them. Who are they? You may have purchased a motorcycle? Why? Why after all these years? Is it because you are better off financially? Or because the risks no longer matter to you? Kind of a death wish, in a sense. Why not when your son was young? Do you no longer have the same reasons? Why has everyone that you have ever known let you down? Could it be you? You seem to be the common divider. I think it's common denominator. You hit a lot of things in passing. Come on, man. Let's make it interesting. I would love to tell my friends to tune in to your podcast if... Number 1, I had any friends. And number 2, I would have to tell them that it is very something... funny, entertaining, thought-provoking, or something. I know that you are not trying to be anyone else, but you have heard things you like and things you didn't like. What would Dave Canyon think of this podcast? What would he tell his friends? Why would Dave Canyon think of... What would Dave Canyon think of this podcast? Would he tell his friends to tune into a guy that talks about working 16 hours a day, 16-hour days, and driving around with his phone in his hand? And yawning a lot? Actually, the yawning thing is cool. We need to make it a drinking game. Every time Dave yawns, do a shot of Crown. College kids will love your show. How do we get them turned on to you? Well, in closing, good job. You are doing well. I am a little hard because I tuned into a podcast recently and felt like my listening wasn't good enough. I may be a little sensitive. Page 3. I don't know if I'm quite ready to do what you are doing, but it is very intriguing. There are often times that I sit and I make comments to myself or make observations that I wish I could share with other people. Maybe a podcast would be the way to go. Like, I know that my dad is retired and has tons of time on his hands, so he started a blog. Sometimes you just need an outlet. I am very happy that you found yourself one. I hope that I have not been overly hard or too sensitive. Excuse me 1 second here. All right. I hope... I hope that I have not been too hard, overly hard or too sensitive. I am sorry that I didn't do a better job of letting you know that I think you are doing a good job. And I don't say that because you are crying about no one responding. I am very proud of you for not giving up and for pursuing what you have always wanted to do. I hope that you last longer at this than you did as a watcher of the television show The Bridge. LOL. Godspeed. And let's spice things up a bit. Okay? Let's spice this thing up a little, okay? P.S. The point about saying that you are holding the phone in your hand had nothing to do with you getting caught by New York's finest. I'm just saying that. God forbid. God forbid you are involved in an accident. Maybe not even your fault, and a lawyer goes back and finds your podcast. They could use your comments to incriminate you, even if you did nothing wrong because you were breaking the law. Consider this a warning from your non-existent legal department. Be safe, buddy, and good potting. ... Podcasting? ? Casting? ? Have fun, your friend, Mark Breslin. And then there's a disclaimer about using his name and all that stuff, and don't take my picture. Okay, so that's it. Good letter. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. He's a friend of mine. I was going to print the definition of the word friend, because I think friend has a lot of criteria involved. There are, I can't do it now. I don't want to do it now. I don't want to take a chance on losing this recording. But, okay, by the way, that took 15 minutes to read. Almost 15 minutes. There was a little preamble, so, whatever. Less than 15 minutes to read. So now I'm going to reread the letter, and I'm going to respond. All right? This is going to be the it in dumbing it down with Dave, all right? You asked for it, you got it. It's not going to be a hostile it. Everybody, calm down. I think it's a good letter. I appreciate the letter. I really do. It's nice that somebody actually took the time. I know this thing must have taken, I don't know, like an hour or two. I mean, this is 3 pages of a lot of words. And the spelling is mostly accurate, except for maybe one very critical part, which I will address. All right. So here we go. I'm going to reread it, and I'm going to interrupt. I will try to do the thing I do where I sound like a schizophrenic with 2 different voices. All right? Oh, hold on. Let me take a sip of my latte. It's not even really a latte. It's just coffee with whipped cream. Oh, boy, that's aging well. It's even sweeter than it was 10 minutes ago. All right, here we go. This is my first letter, folks. So it's taken March, April, May. It took about a month. 10 episodes in a month to get my first listener letter. And it had to come from a friend. Somebody who knows me. Okay. Dear Dave, just finished listening to episode 8. Help, I'm exhausted and I can't shut up. Excellent job. I like how you were able to continuously get back on track after pursuing all those rabbit trails. People that don't know you may not appreciate how hard that is for you, but I know you, and I know it was quite a feat, especially on the way home from day 5 at the grind mill. I know you must have been exhausted, but you did well. Yes, that is hard for me, and that's an interesting thing about the show. I mean, it's an interesting thing about me. Is it really interesting? No, not really interesting, but it is a facet of me. It is part of the show that I cannot deny, and I'm not going to sit here and, not right now, I don't feel the need to sit here and find a way to assist me in getting back on the trail, to get back on track if I go off. I don't. I'm just going to embrace my absent-mindedness or my forgetfulness or whatever it is I'm doing. In fact, in a nutshell, I am trying to embrace every part that is authentically me. Whatever is authentically me, I'm putting out there. In other words, this is my voice, and I'm authentically embracing it. I mean, I have no problems with my voice. Although sometimes I know that I get a little bit loud, and I talk a little bit fast, and then I get a little high-pitched. I would rather have a much bassier voice. I just heard Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs on a podcast with Greg Fitzsimmons on Fitzdog Radio, another podcast. Boy, I love Mike Rowe's voice. I would love to have Mike Rowe's voice. I would like to have Johnny Carson's voice. I would like to have, not David Letterman's voice. I never wanted his voice. But there are certain, Haysbert, what is it, Dennis? The new James Earl Jones or whatever, or the new Morgan Freeman. Or Morgan Freeman's voice. Who wouldn't want to have Morgan Freeman's voice? Anyway, I am okay with my voice. It's not as deep as I like. I'm not going to smoke cigarettes to make it deeper. Sometimes I think my son told me, if you purposely yawn several times before you talk, it makes your voice deeper. Anyway, but I know if I talk slower and I talk a little bit quieter, I'm a lot more happier with my voice. And I think as a listener, you would be too. But anyway, not a criticism, just a comment. I'm just adding to that. The rabbit trail thing is, so yeah, I'm embracing everything. Maybe one day I'll have a little notepad, so I'll have the phone in one hand, but and I'll write with the other hand. But I do hold the phone in my left hand. If I was allegedly, holding a phone in my hand while I was driving a car up the New York State Thruway, while recording a podcast. Which, by the way, what's the difference if I'm holding a coffee cup? For those of you who are adjudicating my case in Manslaughter 1. If I'm holding a coffee cup right now and I'm talking into the hole of a cup, yeah, I'm going to do that right now. Yeah. So, there you go. Look at me. I'm holding a coffee cup in my hand and I'm talking into it. Wow. Well, are there rules against drinking coffee in a coffee cup into a hole? Drinking coffee out of a hole? No. So why can't I hold it's the rule. You have to be able to walk and chew gum. You have to be conscious of your surroundings. you got to have one hand on the wheel. And you know what? Some people don't, all right? Jury, some people drive with their knee. What? Yes, they drive with their knee. All right. I'm doing it right now. No, I'm not. I'm allegedly driving with my knee. All right, I got one hand on the wheel. How about if I attached my phone to my coffee cup? How about that? If I took a video of this phone, my alleged phone in my hand right now, that I'm recording while I'm allegedly going up the New York State Thruway at, 70 miles an hour. Not bad. Allegedly. And I had a video of the alleged phone in my hand attached to an actual coffee cup. It was taped. Duct taped. Sounds like two past tense words. Duct taped. And I was holding the cup. If my fingers, my hand had nothing to do with the phone, but the phone was attached to the coffee cup. You get it? Is that still illegal? It shouldn't be. I'm not touching the phone. Is that my out? Oh, I got to do it. I think I got to do it. I think I got to do it just to cover my bases. Allegedly. All right. Think about, so he wants me to elicit thought. What do you think, folks? Do I really have to say that every time? What do you think? Listen, dumbing it down with Dave@yahoo.com. For every and all of my comments, I don't need to elicit. Yes, it's nice to have an action. What do you think? Okay, what do you think? There you go. You got it? You happy? Email me. What do you think? Oh, just on all my comments. There you go. Just write whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Don't write it all. I don't care. I think that is a great conversation, though. Legal matters. I'd like to explore legal matters, all legal matters. I do have a lot of comments on all legal matters. I really do. And we will get to that episode one day. When? I don't know. The show's organic. I don't really plan these things that much in advance. I wing it. I didn't know I was going to get this email today. And by the way, it wasn't that easy to print this out with my new stupid Epson printer. Everything is it's ridiculous. All right, but I did get it done. Where did we leave off? Okay. I know that you must have been exhausted, but you did well. The sound is good. Okay, the sound is good. A bit of road noise doesn't bother me, but I have a friend that would complain about it nonstop. He's referring to me. Okay, he would probably insist that you get a new mic, but what does he know? Yeah, you know what? We did discuss that. I think I've discussed this on this podcast, and I've discussed it in my life. No, I'm going with the low-cost LG phone, alleged LG phone microphone built into the Spreaker app, because I'm not spending any money right now on something. I got other monies I'm spending monies on. I got other things I'm spending money on. So until somebody writes me and says, I can't listen to your podcast because, and even then, I probably won't switch to a microphone. Not right now. Not too far in the future, I don't think, but not right now. It's not necessary. You can hear me. Everybody can hear me. The ambient sound of the road is it's authentic. It's what it is. If it was really, by the way, I have heard, and there's one guy who I'm not going to name. I just don't want to get into a fight with him. I'm insignificant in his life, but there is a major celebrity. Tom Cruise major? No, less than Tom Cruise. But he's been a star. He's been a star in television and movies. He has a podcast. And let me tell you something. His studio sound is awful. I'm not going to say his name because who am I? Then again, what am I afraid of? If I say his name, who cares? Ready? Here he goes. I'm taking a big leap into getting myself in big trouble. I like his podcast. I listen to it. I do. I find his stand-up funny. I find his movies entertaining. But the sound on this guy's podcast is awful. His name is Jay Mohr. M-O-H-R. More stories. Oh, I did it. I feel great. I've come out of the I don't like Jay Mohr's sound closet. I like Jay Mohr. I really, really do. And if he somehow is to hear this, I hope he doesn't hate me for it. Hey, Jay Mohr. Hey, Jay Mohr's. I think that's what his fans like to say, or he likes his fans to say. Hey, Jay Mohr's. I like Jay Mohr's. I like Jay Mohr stories. More stories from the Fake Mustache Studios. But his sound is often horrible. I don't know what he's doing with a microphone in his hand. I can hear things. They're in a studio. It's a controlled environment. It shouldn't be that bad. And then he's done podcasts in his car, and my podcasts sound much better than his does in his car. Anyway, that's all. I like the podcast. I'm not saying anything negative. I've said he's a funny stand-up. I said he's a good actor. I think he has a brilliant mind. He's great recall. And he's an okay interviewer. But I find most interviewers not very good. Most interviewers do a lot of talking and very little listening. But that's my comment and criticism about almost everybody in the business. Even Howard Stern. But I think Howard Stern is one of the best ever interviewers. I think Johnny Carson was a great interviewer. I'm not going to get into all the late night guys, but it's very difficult to be a great interviewer. He's a good interviewer. He's not the worst. Who is the worst? I'm going to say it. Who cares? 12 episodes into a podcast, only one person is listening and emailing me. I think Jay Leno was one of the worst interviewers ever. Worst. Horrible interviewer. Horrible. Okay, let's move on. Oh. There's no way I'm going to get through this whole 3-page letter. He would probably insist that you get a new mic, but what does he know? It would be nice to see if you could shorten your explanation of working 16 hours. Well, I don't know how many episodes you've listened to, Mark, but you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't recall how many times I've explained my 16-hour day. But here's the thing about these podcasts. I don't know if people are listening in chronological order. Right now, I'm assuming nobody's listening to anything. So if you go on that suggestion, on that point of view, nobody is listening to anything, and they might just stumble because of a title. I've done that all the time. I don't start every podcast in chronological order. I'd like to. That suits me. That is my nature. But sometimes I'll see a title and go, ooh, let me go to that one. Let me go to episode 5. And then I don't know what this guy's talking about. And that's a big pet peeve of mine when somebody says something as if I know what they're talking about. So I don't assume that people understand my 16-hour workday. That was one long episode. I think that was the 59-minute episode of I think that was I'm exhausted and I can't shut up. Oh, I think it was one of them. See, I can't even remember 2 episodes, 3 episodes back. It doesn't matter. I probably won't explain the 16-hour detail in length again, but I cannot promise that it won't be tomorrow's episode or the next episode. I can't promise anything. Who cares? I don't know when people are tuning in. So a lot of things will get explained. And if you had heard this podcast in its entirety, my body of work from episode 1, you would have heard me explain. And this is something I do explain and re-explain and explain over again, that I will repeat myself. I will. And it's just, that's my nature. And it's also for the benefit of new listeners. It's just how podcasts work. For somebody who's only listened to 2 podcasts, oh, you only listen to 2 of mine? All right, well, whatever. I've been listening to a podcast, hundreds, maybe thousands of podcasts for the last year or 2, and I think I understand what I'm doing. But I do appreciate the comment. Okay, so don't repeat the whole 16-hour thing. I do think it's quite interesting, though. I'm not going to get into it, but my 16-hour day is quite fascinating, and it's probably closer to 17 hours. Okay, of course I've heard it way more than those tuning into your podcast. So it may be a little bit more repetitive for me than it would be for others. Yeah, that's true. Now, about that title, I think it should have been called "Help, I Got My Friends to Listen," and then bash them for not being more like me. Sounds like you are attacking half of your listening audience. Not a smart move, in my opinion. Let's delve into my thoughts as a listener. Yeah, I get it. That's a joke, half, because he's one of the 2 people listening, me and him. I get it. That's funny. And I'm not bashing. No, I'm not bashing, because I would say, if I was bashing, I'd say, you're all douchebags for not listening, or I hate you all, or you're all scum. I didn't say that. I'm not even thinking it. I'm just... And yeah, you're right, for not being more like me, because this is how Dave Canyon is. All right. Now I'm gonna play the role of Mark and Dave Canyon. This is Mark. Hey, Dave, I'm doing whatever, but I'm involved. Mark, I'm right on top of it. What's the link? Send me the link. I'm right on it. I'll read it. I'll write it. I'll listen to it. I'll review it. I just helped a guy with a stand-up routine. A guy sent me. It took me a while, but I responded and I helped him with a stand-up routine. I got a friend who's a musician. I've gone to see him perform. I'm always responding to everybody as quickly as possible, and it's usually, if not minutes, it's hours. If it's not hours, it's a day. It wouldn't have been 10 episodes It doesn't matter. I'm glad that Mark finally responded. He's one of many, many people who should be responding and should be rallying around the cause of Dave Kanyan. But they're not. And Mark did because he feels obliged, and I appreciate that. But I am a quick responder, and I'm a quick supporter, and I'm very honest about my support. I like, I don't like, I think, I don't think, whatever. I care, I don't care, but I do respond. And I'm amazed that I haven't gotten more. I'm not amazed. I'm disappointed. And that is an issue with all the friends and acquaintances that I no longer have anymore because they were also very unsupportive. In matters way more important than a silly podcast. Health matters. Health matters. They were not supportive. Screw them. Okay. Because I've been supportive of all my former friends and acquaintances in all their health matters, all their illnesses, their breakdowns, their divorces, their oh my God, the things that I've been told. And I'm right there. You want me to come over? Hey, you want to talk? I'm always here. Here's my blah, 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 blah. I'm like a freaking black lab. I'm like a Labrador. Like, oh, I'll sit on your lap. I'll keep your feet warm. I'll lick you. I'll do whatever. Oh, but God forbid I have a health issue. Nobody cares. Whatever. That was before this podcast. And those are friends and acquaintances are all gone now. They're all gone. I have no desire to reconnect. I really don't. That part of me has turned ice cold. Goodbye. Goodbye. Go ahead and continue to care about only yourself. Goodbye. Okay. I'm very happy for you. Okay, let's delve into my thoughts as a listener. Here we go. We're finally on paragraph number 2. There's no way I'm going to make this whole thing. I am very happy for you to be pursuing your desires and looking for an outlet. I hope that you find your podcasts very therapeutic. Yeah, they are. Eventually you will hopefully be able to get beyond all the hurt and pain you feel from your past. Good luck with that. This podcast, my meditation, whatever working out health stuff I'm doing, and $60 worth of 1 hour therapy a week. As my grandfather Bill said once, my father's father Bill used to say, "From your lips to God's ears." Yeah, I hope that I can get beyond all the hurt and pain I feel from my past. I'm doing better than I have in the past, but whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me what I get rid of. I know it could be cancerous, and I don't want to carry around hurt and pain. That is true. I am trying to get rid of all that. I am trying to get beyond all that. But it's hard because it stays fresh in my head. But like I said, I'm doing a lot of meditating now. I'm doing almost 20 minutes a day. Not almost 20. I'm doing, almost 20 minutes a day, sometimes 30 minutes. By the way, I just passed a New York State trooper just south of Albany with a driver pulled over, and it's a black individual. I can't tell you how often I see that. I do see white people getting pulled over, but I have seen a lot of black people get pulled over. Just saying. New Jersey Turnpike, too, by the way. One of the worst. Oh, my God, New Jersey Turnpike. That's all I see is black people pulled over. Okay. That's not true. It's not all I see, but I have seen a lot. Okay, anyway, we'll get into that episode another day. And by the way, Mark, that's something I say. If you've heard all 10 podcasts, I always say that we'll get into it in another episode because it's a part of my life. So I know we will get into it. I don't plan it. I don't really have to plan these podcasts because all these thoughts are in my head. All these things are in my life, whether it's racism or politics or finances or health. This is a podcast here that centers around my life. I mean, a lot of podcasters do that. Okay. So, eventually you will hopefully be able to get beyond all the hurt and pain you feel from your past. I sure hope so. I see that the show is called Dumbing It Down with Dave. Might I suggest a little bit more of the dumbing it, in capitals and quotations, down part. Dumbing it. He wants to do more about the it, and a little bit less of the ramblings of a crazy, passive-aggressive, depressed, tired, unappreciated, overworked, truck driving, phone in hand while driving, allegedly. I wish more people loved me and treated me like I would treat me part. Okay, that's valid. I like all those words you use. That's something I would have written. I like that. That's very clever. Because I think, and this is just my opinion, people would like to hear more about the it in the dumbing it down. Yeah, maybe. But here's the thing that you would have known if you heard the first 9 or 10, the 7 episodes of Dumbing It Down with Dave. I just had to start this podcast at some point, Mark. I just had to start it. I just had to hit the record button and go. I don't have any prep time. I don't have a team. Maybe back in the day when you and I were supposed to be co-hosts, we would have been able to discuss, especially when we worked at Conway, we would have had time to prep and we would have had a little bit more of a script or an outline or something. I just grab this phone, I hit the red button, and I just go. So the it part of it, I think, is in the podcast. I do. I firmly believe that my body of work in the first, well, now this is going to be episode 12, but I've only uploaded 10. 11 is in the can. I do think the it is in there. The it is in the pudding. It's in there. You just have to listen or re-listen and accept what little its there are. Maybe the its are smaller, but I don't have time to prepare. I don't, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to make time. I'm juggling, I don't know how many different things, as you well know, Mark, and other people know, because they're not truck drivers and they're not friends of mine, or they're not acquaintances of mine. They're not former co-workers of mine. They're not anything of mine. They're just people who are out in the world. So everybody knows what it's like to juggle. But I cannot do like when I used to do stand-up comedy. I cannot commit. I can't. It's just too much time. So you're going to have to appreciate what little it is in here. All right, at the bottom of the page, paragraph 3. Just an FYI, as you all know, and you have like 4 dots. But Mark, it's 3 dots. That's it. ... That's it. I don't know what the rules are, but it's just ... You are not the only truck driver in the world. And he knows that I know that. And he knows I know. We both know that I know I'm not the only truck driver in the world. I don't always work the hours you do. No, you don't. You never work the hours I do. Okay? Not always. Never. But that's okay, because your job is different. Your job is spread out in 5 days. Well, I do 5 days a week, but I don't have to. I can do 4. Anyway, I don't always work the hours you do. But to offset those hours you are working, I am sleeping. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're sleeping. I don't always have the time to sit and respond like I am doing now. This is cutting into my shower time. Yeah, right. I hope you can smell... No, I know. He does shower. He better, because he's a ball of sweat, folks. You should see this guy. Ooh, he's a sweat machine. I hope you can smell my stink from 2 hours of working out so that I can lose weight, in parentheses, hopefully, just so that I can send you your presumably first email. Well, Mark, I greatly appreciate that. If you didn't shower, that's on you. By the way, so here's what you wrote. And here's what I'm going to comment. I don't always have the time to sit and respond like I'm doing now. Mark, this is a 3-page, I don't know how many paragraphs letter. 10 paragraphs letter? You don't have to write. It doesn't, I don't need this. I don't need, what's that guy, I don't need a manifesto. I don't need a manifesto. I just need a little, hey, Dave, it's Mark from Mobile, Alabama. Heard your podcast. I enjoy it. Take care. Bye. And by the way, you can actually comment on the app. There's a comment button. So you didn't have to send me an email. I mean, I did ask for Dumbing It Down with Dave at yahoo.com. But you can just comment on the app itself. And I did click like, and I commented before I left my house, and it didn't ask me to sign up for anything. But I maybe because I already am signed up, or I'm not really sure. So I'm curious how other people are dealing with that. But you should be able to click. I've clicked like on many other people's podcasts, and it just accepts it as a liked episode. But I don't know if you're listening on the app or if you're listening on the Spreaker website. So I don't know where you're listening to, but you shouldn't have an issue clicking like, and you shouldn't have an issue commenting. And I don't know how that affects my podcast as far as, well, it ends up, you end up being a statistic. You want to be a statistic? You end up being a statistic. It doesn't matter. I'm glad you wrote this letter. It's a long letter, and it's well worded, well written, well expressed. Not too many spelling errors, except for a big one that's coming up, and I will get to that, I hope, because I'm almost at work. All right, so, good, I didn't shut up the podcast. Wow, we're almost 40 minutes in. I got to get out of here. All right, so you don't have to write long letters. I don't need manifestos. Just a short, hey, I heard this, blah, blah, blah. But, and you can always call me, Mark. Even though my company has that stupid new rule, you can call me. I allegedly have a pair of Blue Parrot headset. a pair, whatever. I allegedly have one that I'm allegedly borrowing from somebody else who's not using it, and you can always call me. And if I don't answer, just leave a voicemail. You know how to do it. Okay, so presumably first email. I hope I got the address correct. Yes, you did. By the way, I tried to click like, and it wanted me to sign up for one of those crazy things you well know I don't have. Look at me book, or Quack Like a Bird, so everyone can hear everything that goes through my head. Twit thing, Google Plus, because they are not in my life enough already, and not enough in my life already. Whatever. So yeah, I know you don't have those things. You don't have to. Just the email's fine, or you just comment on the app. Anyway, pretend I clicked like because I did. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. All right, page 2. Oh my God, there's no way we're gonna get this done. One more suggestion. Stop calling me a dum-dum. I get it. A follower of Dumbing It Down, a dum-dum. But it sounds kind of insulting. How about members of the Down Army? Really? Down? Like Down syndrome? That sounds better to you? The Down Army? No. Dum-dum. It's, look up Flintstones. If you heard one of the first episodes, I think it's in there. Or it might be one of the episodes that I didn't upload, because there were about 7 or 8 episodes I did not on the Spreaker app, and then I didn't know how to move them over to the Spreaker app. So look up Flintstones Mr. Gazoo. Mr. Gazoo, Gazoo, voiced by the late, great Harvey Korman from Carol Burnett fame and also Mel Brooks movies. Blazing Saddles and others, I think. Yes, Harvey Korman is the voice of Mr. Gazoo, and he shows up in Fred Flintstone's and Barney Rubble's life and refers to them as, hello, dum-dums. So, and one of these days I'll get that sound effect, and that'll be part of my, well, I'll probably get sued by some estate, by Warner Brothers or wherever. But, yeah, that is a term of endearment. And I think Don Rickles calls people dum-dums or dummy or whatever, so I'm not getting rid of that. And it's not insulting. Stop projecting. All right. I don't know. Just brainstorming. Well, I appreciate that. I know you're just brainstorming. I don't. I'm sticking with dum-dums. I don't have anything else. What am I going to call them? Your its? Hey, its? No. Hey, downs? No, I'm not calling you downs. Whatever. I don't know if you realize this or not, but sometimes your ramblings are just that, ramblings. And when someone's rambling, sometimes you just got to let them go. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. How about something that elicits a response? Well, I think if you've heard my body of work, I do ask people, what do you think? But I'm not as heavy-handed. Sometimes it's subtle. And you can all email me, comment, whatever, about anything all the time. I don't have to, my audience shouldn't have to be prodded into eliciting a response. But I do understand the action verb. So what do you think? Can we do this today? They teach salesmen that. What do you think? We could do this today? How do you feel about that? All that. Yeah, so I understand what you're saying. And you're right. I'm not necessarily a question, but a nice, hard opinion about something. I'm Dave, and I think this. Yeah, I get you. Just a thought. Just making a suggestion because I know that you really want this podcast to be good and take off and have people tune in. Even though you say you don't really care if people listen. Of course you care. Why else would you do it? You want to be acknowledged and appreciated. I know you do, but the people that never appreciated you ever will. You wanted to say never will. So forget them and do what you do. Yeah, I do. Forget them. I am doing what I want to do. I don't care. Mark, if you're my only listener for the rest of my life, fine. I don't care. I don't. I'm telling you, I can't make this any more clear. If somehow my luck? No, I don't want to say luck. It's not my skill. My fortune? Let's say fortune. If somehow my fortunes, my situation should change, and all of a sudden I'm acquiring listeners, I'm getting a listener base, I see 5 people, 10 people, whatever. Yeah, that'd be nice. That's fine. I'm in my car. I got nothing to do because I'm listening to classical music, and I enjoy it. I listen to other people's podcasts, and I enjoy it. I try to enjoy my car ride into work and my car ride home. So this podcast just gives me a reason to talk into an alleged phone that I'm holding in my alleged left hand. I do have a left hand, but I'm just using the word alleged a lot. So it just gives me something to do. I don't care. I really don't. You have to get that. I really don't care. I've been so bitten and so whatever. I don't care. Okay, you get that. And now, but I appreciate it. I do appreciate everything that you've said and written and felt and all that. And now, Oh, we haven't even gotten to the misspelling. I get to the misspelling. And now I have caught your spirit. I am now the one that is rambling on about apparently nothing. I don't know what else to say. No, you're not rambling. This is a great, well-written letter. I'm almost surprised that you're able to write such a letter. No, that was a shot across the bow. I don't know what else to say to you, buddy. I wish that your company didn't have that stupid cell phone rule. Don't worry about it. Just call me anyway, Mark. Because then I could talk to you about your show, and you would be happier because knowing that someone had an opinion. Well, yeah, but then again, I could see us really getting into a heated debate. No, I could talk to you about this. Yeah, no, you're right. They're right about a lot of things, and you're not so right about other things. But it's good to have an opinion. An opinion is like like flavorings on a salad. Some people like a little bit more vinegar, a little bit more. Some people like tomatoes. Some people like feta cheese. Whatever. Everybody has a different thing they like in the salad. So your opinions are like salad flavoring. Why am I late for work? Why can't I be to work on time? 10 minutes after 6. I'm supposed to be here at least 10 minutes ago. Anyway, my opinion really is that I am not way into podcasts. Well, that's not an opinion, but I know you're getting to it. But I have listened to 2 of yours because you are my friend, and it is convenient to listen to while I'm at the gym. Good. I like that. I'm going to have to get you a workout t-shirt. Dumbing it down with Dave t-shirt. Because I know on your large body, on your large body, which is getting smaller, hopefully, that it's a great billboard. It's a great sense of advertising. Maybe I'll get it to glow when it gets wet, because I know you're a ball of sweat. That'd be great. Okay. We're almost done. But I've listened to 2 of yours because you are my friend and it's convenient to listen to the gym. The fastest podcast on the internet is clever. I like it. Well, thank you. It is. Nobody records a show at 65 miles an hour. If they do, I don't know about it. So if you find one, fine, great, point it out. Then maybe I'm not the fastest, but that'll be one of the fastest. It doesn't really matter. It's just a stupid thing I say. I'm not just talking to you, Mark. I'm talking to anybody. Who are these people in Australia you keep on referring to? Jared and Missy. They are podcast type people that do podcast type things, and I just have been talking to them, but I've lost a little touch with them because they had an internet situation in this small little town in I forgot the name, Bentleyville or something like that, somewhere in like Sydney or Melbourne, Australia. I forget where exactly they are, but they're having a little internet problem. I haven't heard from them in a couple of weeks. They're just people who are involved in podcasting, and there's a possibility that I would have been doing some business with them. It doesn't really matter. Missy and Jared. And Missy and Jared, if you're listening, I haven't heard from you. Did you get your internet back? Give me a call. All right. How do you know people on the other side of the world? Well, why can't I know people on the other side of the world? I know people in Saraland, Alabama. I know people in California. I know people all over the world. Well, why do I don't have to explain myself to you? Who are they? You may have purchased a motorcycle? No, not yet. I have not. But I am very close. Why? Why after all these years? Is it because you're better off financially? Yes, that helps. Or because the risks no longer matter to you? Well, a little bit of both. Kind of a death wish in a sense. No, not really. But it's on my bucket list. It was riding a motorcycle, owning and riding a motorcycle was on my bucket list before I had a bucket. Why not when your son was young? Well, I really didn't have the money then. It wasn't a priority. Do you no longer have the same reasons? No, I don't. It's all different reasons. Everything changes. It's been 20 years. Oh, well, actually 19. My son's 19 almost. Why has everyone that you have ever known let you down? Ooh, well, that's going to have to be another episode. Could it be you? You seem to be the common divider. Oh, I think you want to say common denominator. Yeah, I'm sure it's me. I take it all, okay? It's me. I'm a douche. You hit a lot of things in passing. Come on, man. Let's make it interesting. Well, yeah, I would like to make it interesting. I think I do, but, I think that's more you than anything else. But I understand what you're feeling. I have a time constraint. I have a preparation constraint. I think I get into certain things, and if I haven't, and if I've let you down, Mark, I'm sorry. I'll try to get into things more deeply. I would love to tell my friends to tune into your podcast, if ... One, I had any friends. Haha, that's funny. I know, you don't have any friends. And 2, just like me, so you know better than me. And number 2, I would have to tell them that it is very something. Funny, entertaining, thought-provoking, or something. Yeah, go ahead, tell them. Tell them, I don't care. I know that you're not trying to be anyone else. In fact, take your contact list and your email or your wife's email and just copy the link to the podcast and just mail it. Say, hey, if you have nothing else to do, tune into this guy or don't. I don't care. I know you're not trying to be anyone else, but I appreciate that. Yeah, I know you're not trying to be anyone else, but you have heard things you like and things you didn't like. What would Dave Canyon think of this podcast? What would Dave Canyon, Kanyon? I don't know who that guy is. Mark, my friend. But I know who Kanyan is. So I know it was an innocent misspelling. What would I think of this podcast? I think this podcast is crap. Crap. Would he tell his friends to tune into a guy that talks about working 16-hour days and driving around with his phone in his hand and yawning a lot? I doubt it. Once again, I don't care. I don't care who listens to that. I don't care. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Actually, the yawning thing is cool. We need to make it a drinking game. Every time Dave yawns, do a shot of Crown. College kids will love your show. How do we get them tuned on to you? I would have to de-age 30 years. I would have to be 20 years old or 15 years old. I'm not going to get college kids listening to the show. They don't give a shit about me. Well, in closing, good job. You are doing well. I am a little hard because I tuned into a podcast recently and felt like my listening wasn't good enough. I think, once again, folks, he's addressing me. No, it's fine. I may be a little sensitive. I don't know. Yes, you are. So am I. I don't know if I'm quite ready to do what you are doing, but it is very intriguing. Yes, it is. There are often times that I sit and make comments to myself or make observations that I wish I could share with other people. I understand how you feel. Maybe a podcast would be the way to go. Yes, it would be. You can do a free one. And nobody will listen to it. Just go to Spreaker. They have free, super free. I don't know what they call it. It's just super free, but nobody will hear it. And you get to do like 10 of them. I don't know. There's a whole thing. It's not hard. There are often times I sit and make comments to myself. Maybe podcast would be the way to go. Yes. Like, I know that my dad is retired. Dad in capitals? Yeah, whatever. Dad is retired and has tons of time on his hands, so he started a blog. Yeah. He's writing a blog, right? Sometimes you just need an outlet. I am very happy that you found yourself one. I hope that I have not been overly hard or too sensitive. No, it's all fine. I am sorry that I didn't do a better job of letting you know what I think, and you're doing a good job. No, you are doing a great job of letting me know what you think, because you wrote me a letter. You wrote me a manifesto. You didn't even say, hey, Dave, great job. You wrote a manifesto here. I'm reading it on the air. It's taken an hour and a half. And I don't say that because you were crying about no one responding. I'm very proud of you for not giving up and for pursuing what you've always wanted to do. Well, not true. I haven't always wanted to do this, but recently, since podcasts have come in creation, and I no longer do stand-up comedy, and I always like to have an outlet of creativity, this fits. If I really wanted to do what I wanted to do, I'd be traveling the United States racing a car or a go-kart. I'd be doing some sort of auto racing. That's what I really want to do. But then again, I don't really know if I want to do that because I haven't done it. Once if I do it, I always say this, Mark. I always say this, everybody. Be careful what you wish for because you might get it. Once if I do it and it turns out I don't like it, then we got a problem. And I hope that you last longer at this than you did as watcher of The Bridge. The Bridge was a show on FX or FXM or FXX or whatever it was, and I bailed on it like I do all 1 hour shows. Yeah, I think, well, if this is episode 12, I might have lasted longer than I did than the first season of The Bridge. I don't know how many episodes was the first season. LOL, Godspeed, and let's spice this thing up a little bit, okay? Yeah, we'll go spice it up, okay. The point about saying that you were holding the phone in your hand had nothing to do with you getting caught by New York's finest. New York State Troopers are not New York's finest. New York City Police are New York's finest. I don't know what New York State Troopers are. Just saying that. And now he says I'm just saying that. Okay. So I don't know what the troopers are called, but New York Cities are called New York City Police are New York's finest. The firemen are New York's bravest. God forbid that you were involved in an accident, maybe not even your fault, and a lawyer goes back and finds your podcast. They could use, by the way, no publicity is bad publicity. They could use your comments to incriminate you even if you did nothing wrong because you were breaking the law. Consider this a warning from your non-existent legal department. Thank you. I appreciate that, legal team. You're right. But then again, this is all alleged. There is no evidence that I'm actually holding a phone in my hand or driving at 65 miles an hour or any speed or any of my whereabouts. There's absolutely no evidence. There's no way of tracing any of this back to anything. That Kia, that sound you hear, that's all in a recording. Be safe, buddy, and good podcasting, casting. Have fun, your friend Mark Breslin, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Mark, thank you very much. That was great. My first letter. Yay. Oh, I got mail. Okay, and I responded. I think I responded smartly. I didn't shut off the phone. 54 minutes and 26 seconds. Holy cow. Boy, you guys really got a lot for your money today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to Dumbing It Down with Dave. I'm pretty sure this was episode 12. If you get a chance, please tune into my friend's show, Pipe Dream. Pipe Dream. Pipe Dreams? Pipe Dream. Now I'm confused. Is it Pipe Dreams? Ah, crap. I got to be a better friend and a better plugger. It's on the Comedy Pipe Network with your host, 3D, and his co-hosts, Jefferson and Joe Green. And they have different guests every week. I was on episode 177. They're up to like 183, 184 now. So go to thecomedypipenetwork.com and listen to Pipe Dream. Pipe Dream. Pipe Dream. Dave Canyon here. Thank you very much, folks. Thanks for listening to this ramblings of, what am I? Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. I am a passive, aggressive, depressed, tired, unappreciated, overworked, truck driving, phone in my hand, allegedly, while driving. I wish more people loved me and treated me like I would treat me person. So, there you go. Thank you. Episode 12 in the books. Fantastic. I got to upload this. This was a good one. 2 good episodes in a row. I think I'm hitting my stride. No, I'm not. I'm in my juvenile infancy phase of my podcasting. This is all crap. I would never listen to this BS. Maybe I would. It all depends. Everybody has a different flavor. Not everybody likes Mark Maron. Not everybody likes Jay Moores. I like Jay Moores. I just wish his audio was better. It really is better. I've been meaning to write him. I listen to Dee Snider. Not everybody likes Dee Snider. His show has a myriad of problems. Not House of Hair. House of Hair is great if you're into hairband metal, 80s metal. But if you're not, then it sucks. Everybody has a uniqueness. My uniqueness, I'm not sure what that is. Right now, my uniqueness is whatever it is that you're hearing. This is me. I'm not doctoring anything. This is raw. It's authentic. It's unadulterated. I don't even know what that means. It's just me hitting the button. There's a red record button on the Spreaker record app. There's 2 different Spreaker apps. There's a listening to a podcast app and there's a recording a show app. So I hit the red button. I don't prepare. I don't wing it. The only preparation for today's show was the difficulty in printing out this 3-page manifesto email from a person who I refer to as a friend. Refer to? Is he your friend or not? Well, yes, I guess. I'm referring to him as a friend for the purposes of this podcast. Is he a friend? Well, he's coming in June. I'm going to spend a day with him. I'm going to spend a day. I'm going to spend time. Does that mean we're friends? What's the definition of friends? I was supposed to look it up and print it and read it out to you. What's the definition? When I was 10 years old, I didn't really think much about the definition of friends. Now I'm 52. I do think about it. I do think about what is my commitment? What am I getting into? When I say you're a friend, we're friends. Do I pick you up at the airport? Do I help you move? Am I there during your painful moments? Am I supposed to be generous to you and help you? How does that work? I don't know how it works at 52. Just being honest. I don't know how friends work at 52. It's difficult for me. It's very difficult. You want me to spice it up? I'm spicing it up. It's difficult. I don't know what to do. So I just do what I do. And then I hope for the best. And the results aren't always the same because we're all different. And the ages of the people who I try to be friends with, or at least friendly, which is a whole nother ballgame. To be friendly is different than being friends. And sometimes I'm friendly and people mistake that to be friends. Not you, Mark. Maybe. Other people. Not you. You can rest assured that I will be spending June, whatever, with you, and we'll go get dollar pizza in Manhattan. But if you spend a lot of time thinking about it, think about it. Get deep into your head. You want me to spice it up? Get deep into your shit. Get deep. Think about friends. Think about your relationships. Whether it's with your wife, or whether it's with your neighbors, whether it's with a coworker. Who are you talking to? Who are you spending time with? Who are you investing in emotionally? Who and what and why and where and how? All of that. Think about what you're doing with your life. Think about when your expiration date is. Some people, they feel that there is no expiration date. They expire from this earth and they appear on another earth or another wherever. I don't believe that. I believe I have a limited amount of time here and that's it. So I have to think about these things. I do. I think deeply. How am I spending my time? What am I doing with my time? Who am I investing emotionally with? Who am I being generous with? Who am I being selfish with? Who is doing what to me? These former friends and acquaintances of mine who I no longer talk to because they have disappointed. What did Mark say in this letter? That I am the common divider. Why has everyone that you have ever known let you down? Well, not everyone, but many of them. Why have they let me down? Because I don't think they think it through. Okay? That's the quick answer to that question. I don't think they think it through. I think they take me for granted. I think they take my friendliness and my politeness and they take advantage of it and then they shit all over me. Yeah, see, I'm cursing twice in this episode. I didn't want to curse at all. They poop all over me. They take advantage and they lie. They lie and they backstab and they manipulate. I can't let that happen anymore. So they're gone. They are gone. That's a whole other podcast. Shit, 60 minutes. All right, I went over an hour. I didn't want to. I can go on and on, folks, but I'm at work. I'm sitting here. I'm 20 minutes late. It's ridiculous. All right, thank you, Mark, for the email. I appreciate it. You're the first. You win. You're the winner. What do you get? Nothing. All right. You get a whole podcast dedicated to your manifesto. All right, try not to send any dirty bombs to anybody and lock yourself up in a wooded shack in the woods somewhere. You know, keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you, dum-dums. Thank you very much for tuning in to Dumbing It Down with Dave, episode 12. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or criticisms, please, it doesn't have to be a manifesto. It can be a short note. You could do it on the app. You can click like on the app. You can do anything you want. I don't care what you do. Dumb with Dave, Twitter, Dumb with Dave, Dumbing It Down with Dave at Facebook. Like me, click me. I don't care. It just helps if more people listen. Share. How about that? Share the episode. There's a share button on the app. You can share it in a multitude of ways. You know, Gmail, Google Plus, whatever, Dropbox. Just share all you want. I don't care. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. It's a long episode. It's a record-breaking length episode for Dumbing It Down with Dave. My name is Dave Canyon. I am a solo host for this and every show. Don't forget to listen to Pipe Dream on the Comedy Pipe Network. Thank you, folks. Take care. Good day. Good night. Goodbye. Good luck. Good skills. Great skills. Take care. Be safe.